Here's how. Suppose you're cruising down this busy highway with other drivers on all sides. It looks claustrophobic, but by adjusting your speed and position, you can stagger your vehicle in the traffic so you can have extra space in front, behind, and on the side. The important thing here is learning to adjust your speed so you don't find yourself forced to pass other vehicles and don't force other vehicles to pass you. Just stay within the speed limit and drive at a speed that doesn't impede other drivers. In most cases, that means stay to the right unless you're passing, especially if you see traffic building up behind you or notice other drivers maneuvering to get by. Remember, you're working with space, not time when you're on the road. And making space for other drivers is the safest way to get the space you need.
The most valuable space for any driver is that safety zone ahead of you. Lose ground there and you risk a crash into someone's rear end. But you can stake out the space you need up front by maintaining a safe following distance. Here's how.
To check your following distance, pick a landmark up ahead, like a sign, an overpass, or a crosswalk. When the vehicle in front of you goes past it, count the seconds it takes you to reach the same landmark. In city driving, you need at least a 2 to 4 second interval between you and the driver in front of you. Remember, only a fool breaks the 2 to 4 second rule. It takes at least 2 seconds to say that, and it's a good way to find out if you're driving smart. At highway speeds, you need at least a 6-second gap between you and the vehicle you're following. When you're driving on slick roads or in poor visibility, add even more space. You'll be glad to have it.
Wait, there's more. We've seen how to manage the space ahead of us. What about the space behind? How can you gain a margin for safety back there? Take another look.
Here's what you want to avoid: getting rear-ended. The driver behind you didn't maintain a safe following distance, and you have to suffer for it. Nearly 1 million people are injured this way every year, and 2,000 more are killed. You can avoid getting rear-ended by taking precautions. When you see that you have to slow down for a stoplight or stop traffic, check behind you and brake early to let those drivers know it's coming. This signals everyone to start braking, and it gives you extra space up front in case you have to swerve away from a potential rear-ender. Next, when you do stop, give yourself some room to maneuver up front, more than a car length if you can. This space is your escape route in case someone comes flying in behind you, and it's especially important if there's no one there. If any driver who comes on the scene after you're stopped has a clear shot at your rear end. So when you see someone coming, tap on the brakes a couple of times. Make sure they see you, too.
Even with all these precautions, you can still get rear-ended. So don't forget to adjust your head restraint properly at the start of every drive. The head restraint helps prevent whiplash, the most common type of injury in a rear-end crash. Remember to use it.
Okay. We've seen ways to create space around your vehicle, ahead of you and behind. Now let's find out how to manage space during an emergency. Here's the situation. You're driving on a two-way street. Suddenly, there's a driver headed straight for you. What do you do? It's not a hypothetical question. If you want to survive, you need to know the answer. Need a hint? Think outside the box. Many roadways have space just off the paved surface, called the shoulder. And you can use that space to avoid a head-on collision. Here's how. Slow down, keep your vehicle in balance and under control. Then move partway onto the shoulder, trying to keep 2 tires on the pavement, and let the other driver squeeze by. When the emergency is past, you move smoothly back into your lane and think how lucky you were to have seen this video. All joking aside, this is a life-saving maneuver, so we're going to watch it again. Slow down and stay in control. A smooth move partway onto the shoulder, not a panicky jerk out of the way. The other driver squeezes by and you steer smoothly back to safety. You want to practice that move onto the shoulder before you really have to use it.
In fact, if you can, get training and practice all the space management skills we talked about.
Here's a recap.
Stagger your vehicle in traffic to create an extra space around you and drive at a safe speed that doesn't impede other drivers.
Maintain a safe following distance to create extra space ahead of you.
Brake early to create an escape space so you can avoid an oncoming rear-ender.
And be ready to steer onto the side of the road to avoid crashing head-on.
You can learn more about all these skills at the website. And once you're a space ace, take our online quiz.
It could be very rewarding.
You know, we could make this last segment of our video real short and sweet. Just 2 words, in fact, that I'm sure you've heard before.
Slow down! But in the real world, of course, things aren't that simple. Out here, you have to know how to control your speed and how to stay in control.
That's why this last part of our video is about speed management skills.
We're not talking about high-speed driving here. Speed management is all about what you know, not how fast you can go. It takes smarts and depends on knowing the road, letting other drivers know what you're doing, and knowing how to react in emergencies.
The first thing you need to know about speed management is this: stay in contact. Your tires and those 4 small contact patches we talked about are all there is between your vehicle and the road, and anything that reduces that contact could send you skidding out of control. That's why reduced traction on the road surfaces require reduced speeds. Rain, snow, ice, oil slicks, even a heavy mist can make roads unsafe for normal speeds. And watch out for loose stuff too, like sand, gravel, dirt, or even leaves. You need solid contact between your vehicle and the road every minute you're at the wheel. So slow down on any kind of slippery road surface. And slow down when you see one of these too. They're not just roadside decorations. Highway designers put them up to tell you the safe speed for a bend or a twist in the road. In fact, whenever you see a speed sign, you can figure it's there for a good reason. Speed limits are based on road and traffic conditions. They're not just dreamed up. When the road changes, you'll see the speed limit change with it, and you should adjust your speed, up or down, to match the new condition. As we said before, you've got maximum control when you drive at a speed that doesn't impede the flow of traffic. And sometimes that means stepping it up on a high-speed roadway, but it never means breaking the speed limit. Just match your speed to the road conditions and move out of the way if you're on the